and welcome to another episode of the Let's Get Kraken podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. If you are a new viewer, hi, I'm Eden. I'm the owner of Kraken Made, where I sell my handmade treasures of progress keepers, yarn, and my pattern designs. You can find me on Instagram as Crafting Kraken Made. You can also find me and my patterns on Lovecrafts and Payhip. And all those links will be down below. And thank you for clicking on the video. I'm so glad that you chose to come and hang out with me for a little bit and just listen to me babble about all my yarny things. So, it's going to be a shorter podcast today because last week I had gone up with my husband to my in-laws to help them get ready to move. So we did a lot of housework. It was tiring but fun, and it was really good to do. I grew up moving a lot, so being able to help them prepare to move, everything helps. Everything that you do can help just a little bit. So I'm really happy to be able to do that. It did cut in on my knitting time, but totally worth it. I do have a good bit of knitting to show you today. It's all knitting. I didn't do anything crocheting. I need to have more crochet projects again to get in on that. So yeah, it's going to be a shorter podcast episode today. I hope you have a nice drink of some kind. I have an Earl Grey tea, which is probably one of my favorites because it's so simple and comforting. And it's in my mug that my sister-in-laws gave me for Christmas. The ring light kind of blocks it out, but it's one of my favorites. And it's a perfect size. So, I think that's all I have to talk about. So, let's get cracking on these projects, shall we? Okay, so I have a half-finished object and a finished object. For the past few episodes, you know that I've been on a roll with having a finished object for every podcast. This one, I kind of have a finished object, but it's not quite done. So I'm going to say my streak kind of ends here. It's slowly teetering down, but I've got some almost done stuff. So let's start with the finished object. I finished one of the squares for my blanket design, and I even blocked it for y'all. I didn't weave in the ends, but I blocked it so that you can see it. When you're knitting it, it's kind of funny. It gets all scrunched up and kind of warped, and then you block it and it's like, just blooms right out. But I love it so much. So this is a blanket design that I'm working on that you can do with 12 20-gram fingering weight mini skeins. And it's a mix of garter and knitting, and you knit from the center out on DPNs. And you just get this really cool effect. So this is the first square. The entire time I designed this, I questioned what I was thinking. Like, I don't think this is going to work. I don't know. And then I blocked it and I was like, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be fun. So this is the first one I've done. So what the design is, I'm basing this off of, say you get a smaller advent calendar. Usually they do it for each day in December up to Christmas. But some people, they don't have that money, or they don't really know what to do with that many mini skeins. So I've noticed a lot of dyers are doing 12 mini advent calendars, and I love that, and they're going to be awesome. So I'm doing a design for 12 minis. It's going to be a very light lap blanket, but it's going to be gorgeous, and this is going to be so just like even a summery blanket. Like, I hope to have this design out June or July, sometime in the summer. So it'll be a great summer project. It's small, and you're not going to overheat working on this blanket because you just work on one square at a time instead of having like the whole blanket on your lap. So I've knit one already, and here are the colors. So I'm going to do another square with these colors, but the main here and the smaller squares are going to be the purple, and then this is going to be the bars here. So when it's sewn together, it's going to look really cool with the big squares and these rectangles, but then it's going to be a square of smaller squares. And I really like that. I don't know what to call this blanket yet. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like a kaleidoscope almost, but not quite. So if you have any ideas, do let me know. So I'm going to be slowly working away on that. And I'm just keeping this whole thing, all my 12 minis in here. I just picked them at random out of my stash because I have so many minis. I have a little obsession with minis. I think they're my favorite type of way to get yarn, is to get just that special little mini and make lots of fun scrappy things with them. So yeah, I got a huge mix of those in here, just a mix of 12. And this is in my 2 sticks in U bag. I don't know, but U is EWE, handmade in the Okanagan, which I'm in British Columbia, Canada. I live on Vancouver Island. The Okanagan is on the mainland of British Columbia. Beautiful place. I love it. So it's cool to have something somewhat local to me. And also, it is local yarn shop day today. If I had remembered that, I probably would have had like a coupon code or something for you all, but next year I will be on top of that. It's been lifeful lately, but that's okay. I mixed a little. My mom found a sugar-free creamer, vanilla creamer. It is really good. I put a little bit of that in there. And that's just like perfect. Okay, so my half-finished object is I finished, again, one of my husband's socks that I'm knitting out of Opal DK yarn, which we carry in the shop. I think this is our last one in the shop, so if you want one of these, hurry on over and check it out. There's a link to the shop below. So this is Opal DK. It's an 8-ply, which is amazing. It's got a really cool feel to it. 75/25 superwash. Is it superwash? I don't think it is. It says it in English somewhere in here. 75% virgin wool, 25% polyamide. So, very sturdy yarn. And this is Clinking Fountains, which I'm knitting this sock, well, this pair of socks for my husband out of this. And last one in the shop. And it has turned out awesome. I'm following the stitch guidelines from Kay the Crazy Sock Lady on her simple DK sock pattern, but I changed it that I'm doing it toe up and I do a short row heel. It's very easy to do, but it's the same number of stitches and needles. So I will put a link down there. It is only on Ravelry right now. I got it before it went on Ravelry. I'm not on Ravelry. So if you're not on Ravelry, I'm sorry, it's not available. But I was thinking I might write up this version of a sock, a free pattern, just because it's nice to have the little difference. And the short row heel is one of my favorites to do on a sock. It's actually the only heel I do on a sock. So German short row heel. Super easy to do, and it fits nicely on my foot. But anyway, so that's for my husband. I got one done. If you didn't see the last podcast, I had finished a sock, but I had him try it on, and it turned out the foot was too big. So I went back and just knit the foot a little shorter. I really didn't mind doing that because it is a wonderful yarn and a very mindless knit, so it's great to have for movies and stuff. I've got I'm working through the foot right now on my other one, and on here, Progress Keeper, it's a ceramic blue skull. I saved this one for myself, but I do have a bunch of colors of this in the shop right now. And I'm just knitting this on size 3.25 millimeter US 3, I think. Pretty sure. And that is in my other bag from Two Sticks and You. My grandma gave me these bags, and they're awesome. I love the size. It works really well for both the blanket and these socks. Okay. So my next work in progress is another pair of DK weight socks, and this pattern is coming out tomorrow when this podcast goes up, which is this afternoon, because I'm terrible with timing lately. But anyway, okay, I'll show you the finished one first. So this is the DK pattern of my I Do Socks, a pattern I designed last year for me and my husband to wear on our wedding day. And I adore this pattern. It has a special place in my heart and my memories. So I really wanted to have a DK weight version for something cozy and wonderful. Did I talk about? Oh yeah. So I'm using 3.25 millimeter needles. That's my perfect size for DK weight so that it's not meshy. And so it's got a little bit of color work in here for some little stars. And now we've got some interlocking rings cables. And this is a cuff down pattern. We've got the short row heel and regular decreased toe. Really simple and wonderful. The yarn is Ginger Snap That in Hunter's Green and Silver Lining, which I love. This is on their DK Tweed. It is so soft and squishy. Sorry, go on the right side of the camera. And these cables work up so fast. I get them done in a day easily. And it's so addicting because you're just like, I want to see how it turns out. You keep doing another turn and works up so fast. This whole sock works up crazy fast. So I've got one done, and I've got the color work and the cables done on my other one. I'm just about to start the short row heel on this one. And I got my Progress Keeper here. This is a hoggle. Got a few of these in the shop. It's a really cool glass bead with silver, I don't know what that would be called, like silver paper or something mixed into it, and it matches the sock perfectly. I love matching my Progress Keepers to my socks because it just adds that little bit extra special joy to it, I guess. So my advice to anybody is that you can never have too many Progress Keepers because you never know when you need one to match your project. So that's a hoggle on there. If you don't know what a hoggle is a Progress Keeper made out of thrifted jewelry that I found from thrift stores, and it's either broken or it's just incomplete. I take it home and I make them into Progress Keepers so that they can get a new life with somebody and they don't end up in landfills, because a lot of the time jewelry, it has really harsh chemicals put into it so that they just don't belong in the earth and they don't decompose. So it's not good for the earth whatsoever. So this is my little part to try and help the environment. And they're also really pretty and really unique and special. I had just done a Hoggle update last week. So, yeah. Totally had a brain fart there. So you can find those in the shop right now. And I thought I'd show some off at the end of the episode. I'm just keeping these in a bag I sewed a long time ago. But it is Labyrinth themed, one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's the perfect size for these socks. Yeah, so that sock pattern coming out tomorrow. It will be available in the DK version, and the fingering weight version is already up there. And it'll also be available in a bundle, so that if you don't have the pattern at all, you want to try both, both will be there in a bundle version. So yeah, very exciting on that. Okay, last but certainly not least, I have my DRK sweater. Now, I did a lot of work on this. This was my main project because I was just addicted to it. Hang on, I gotta not get tangled up here. But I am. Whoops. Okay. Let's see if I can show this off. Goodness gracious. Whoop. Okay. Hey, that wasn't so bad. Alright, so this is the front, and oh my goodness, I love this sweater so much. I've split for the sleeves and just working down the body. I did a little bit on the body so that I could get some space for the sleeves. I'm going to knit the sleeves first. Now, the things I've had to adjust so far is that I knit the collar just a little bit shorter because I don't like stuff really close to my neck, so I wanted a little bit of that space. And I've realized that my gauge is significantly smaller than what is called for, but I'm not really worried about that because the yarns are going to stretch out for sure. And also, I really don't mind it if it's a tighter sweater. It was already pretty big to begin with. So what I'm changing to help with that is on the sleeves, I'm not decreasing whatsoever because they'll fit my arms just fine. I'll just do a little bit of a rapid decrease for the cuff and have a slight puff sleeve. Yeah, so DRK Sweater by Andrea Mowry. And I love these yarns put together. So I have a fingering weight superwash merino 75/25. This is Kate Celine's The Little Mermaid. It is a gorgeous speckled yarn that I just adore this. I love it. And then I'm holding it with, oh, I got a hank here that you can see. Whoops, got a tangle going on again. There we go. This is Illimani Sabri. It is a 85% organic cotton and 15% baby alpaca. And this is also fingering weight that I'm holding together with this. Oh, it makes such a pretty fabric, and it looks like it was just meant to be together. I might have the tag for Celine. Nope. I got Tootsie Roll in here. You always have to have candy in one of your project bags. But there it is in the ball that I'm working from right now. So pretty. Let's see if I can bring up a picture. There we go. So there it is. So hers comes up to her neck pretty far. So now I only did half that amount. And it is such a pretty sweater. I think I'm only gonna do 3/4 length sleeves because when I'm working, I constantly have to pull up my sleeves and I don't want them to get in the way or fall into anything, like when I'm cooking or when I'm working with paints. I don't want to drag my sleeves through it. So 3/4 length sleeve is the perfect length for me. So yeah, and the progress keepers I have on here. This was a gummy bear that my aunt made me. And I've got another hoggle on here that is just so sparkly and fun. There's one of those in the shop right now, if you want one. Then I've got a little treasure chest that I made that I just think it's just so sweet. And yeah, so that is my last project that I've been working on slowly. I really hope to have the sleeves done by the next podcast. It won't be done by next podcast, I can tell you that, but sleeves would be nice. And I'm just keeping all this yarn for this sweater in one of my large drawstring bags that I made years ago. But it's perfect for sweaters. Hang on. So much yarn tangle. You just cinch that up and it doesn't go anywhere. So that is all I've been working on the past couple weeks. I will definitely have the socks done and hopefully the sleeves done on my sweater. I haven't worked on my blankets at all lately. I would like to, but the really thing that's been bugging me, really, oh my goodness, that's a sentence. Really, the things that have been bugging me lately is I'm really been working down on my projects, and it's been working. I think I have 8 total, and finishing those socks off pretty soon, that will make me have 6. And that's mind-blowing to me. I used to be someone who had at least 12, and I'm like, it had to be in the double digits all the time. And now I feel like, oh, I've cut down on all my projects. I should reward myself with more projects. But I don't know what. I don't know what's catching my attention lately. I don't have any overall, like, design ideas that's like, oh, I really want to make that. I do have one design idea that I'm going to be getting into this week, but I have a little bit more planning before I cast anything on. But yeah, so if you have any patterns that you are going to cast on or have been working on and loving, do let me know, because I want to explore what's going on in the yarn world that I can jump on. I have some progress keepers here to show you guys. I thought I'd do a little bit of advertising of what's come into the shop lately on the podcast, because I don't usually, and I think I should do that more. It's very tricky to show off progress keepers with my camera because it doesn't really focus very well. So I'm going to do my best, but most of these you'll probably be able to see fairly easily. So 2 weeks ago, I did a knitted hearts update. So here we are. We got some rose gold, which I love this color. And these are all available in progress keeper versions and also earring versions. So if you want an earring of one, those are there too. Got a nice deep purple. Love that one. Wonder if I could get really close. Here we go. This one was someone very helpfully helped me a lot to figure out what kind of color this is. This is like a blue jean turquoise color. That I really love that. And I've got a golden yellow that matches my shirt perfectly. This is probably my favorite color right now, is yellow. Bright yellow or golden yellow. I just really want to have that sunshine in my life, so I'm very drawn to yellows. And then, last but certainly not least, I got the classic red. It's so cute. These are much smaller than my original knitted hearts because when you work with polymer clay for a long time, you start off with bigger progress keepers or bigger objects in general, and then as you work a little bit more and more, it gets easier to work with smaller and smaller amounts of polymer clay. And I've definitely changed my prices with that so that you're not paying for something smaller even though it's the same amount, like it's the same price. I've lowered my prices on that, so I want to make sure that I'm being fair. As my my polymer clay style, so to speak, as it changes, the prices and the quality too. I have a lot more patience for smaller things now, so the quality is getting a little bit better as it goes on. Not like it was bad quality before, it's just the more you work on something, practice, what's the saying? I don't know, that reel went around where it was like, practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes, I don't know, things better. I don't know, there was a better way to say it, but anyway, better quality. More detail going into that. And then I have some hoggles that in my shop update from last week. A lot of really sparkly ones, which I think these are my favorite because they just add so much pizzazz to your projects. So I've got this one, which is a pearl, some crystals in the shape of a leaf. There's this one that's just a little, I guess spike would be the best way to describe it, full of crystals that I had on my DRK sweater. Let's see here. This one's really cool. It's got 2 types of blue beads on there. Ooh, yes, this one. I love this one. It's a teardrop shape with some crystals in there. Very elegant in my mind. And then, oh yeah. I get so excited about these because they're all so special and so pretty. This one, I don't know if you can tell. There's a better picture in the shop, but it's a unicorn. But that classic, like Grimm's fairy tale style unicorn. It's beautiful. And it's not like super heavy. It's pretty big for a progress keeper, but it's not heavy or super heavy. It won't pull on your stitches that much. Or at all. I don't know. Let's test that. Ooh, I got a sock right here. Live testing. Oh yeah, it's fine. Even on fingering weight, it's not going to pull your stitches. Quality control. And I always try and make sure that my progress keepers aren't heavy at all for your knitting. If it's too heavy, it doesn't become a progress keeper. Like this guy looks pretty big, but he's not heavy. This is a really pretty green. I don't know, it's a dark green and a light green, and it just catches the light, very metallic. And then there was the one on my I Do socks that has a few of those in the shop right now because there was a bunch of them that came off a bracelet. And this one is so fun. It's a sparkly little bow tie with a little crystal on the bottom. How cool is that? And that is, pretty sure that's all of them. So, those are the newest things in this shop right now. And I really hope you see something you like and you can hop on over and grab it before it's gone. And I just thought of it now. last thing. I totally forgot. I'm not wearing any knits except my DK Royal sock, which was my last design. And I wear these all the time. They're the best house slipper socks. I knit this with K-Zip Knits Root Beer Float Holding Fingering Weight Double. So that's the awesome thing with DK socks, is that you can either use DK weight yarn or you can hold fingering double. Okay, I think I've blabbered enough. At least my tea is still warm, so that's a good sign. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, whatever time it is there. That you have a wonder-filled time full of yarn and caffeine. And I will see you next time. Bye.